to Defcon 3. I'm KT McFarland. Polls over the weekend say that the Scottish referendum is too close to call. Now, this is a referendum where the Scots go to the polls and decide independence for Scotland or to remain part of Great Britain. So we've decided to talk to somebody on the ground. We now have joining us Oscar Macdonald. He's a student, and he's in Scotland. He's talking to us from Scotland. So, Oscar, tell me, who are you?
Hi, I'm Oscar Macdonald. I'm a third-year student at the University of St Andrews studying economics. I'm from the northeast of Scotland, so I'm from a place called Elgin, which is kind of between Inverness and Aberdeen.
All right, so tell me, are you going to vote yes or are you going to vote no?
I have decided to vote yes, although I've kind of followed a very turbulent path with the referendum over the past few months.
Explain.
I went from being a very staunch no voter to transitioning over the past few months to becoming a yes, definite yes voter.
All right, so why did you make those decisions? Why were you no in the beginning and why are you yes now?
I think it's very easy to be no at the beginning when you're kind of scared of the change and you don't really know what to expect from the referendum. But as I started reading more into the referendum and more facts around it, I kind of started erring towards the yes campaign. And over the past few months, the yes campaign have really transitioned from being a political campaign to becoming a really progressive and kind of positive movement for Scotland. All
right, give me 2 or 3 examples of what policies you think the new Republic of Scotland will follow.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is that a new independent Scotland would have a very nation-centric government which can primarily deal with Scottish concerns. The biggest thing at the moment is that Scottish people feel that our vote is really weak and that whilst we can vote for our MPs in Westminster, we don't have enough control over the policies which they are making and the policies which eventually affect Scotland. So I would hope that an independent Scotland would be able to really put kind of Scottish concerns first and focus on those concerns over kind of a greater union of many nations.
All right, well, you know, America is filled with Scottish Americans. We trace the very beginnings of our country to some of the Scottish philosophers. So we look at this and say our heart's in one place, our head's in another, but we also look at it from our own perspective. What's going to happen to Scotland's foreign policy? What's going to happen to Scotland? Is Scotland going to become a NATO member? Is Scotland going to have close relations with the United Kingdom or with Europe or even with the United States? What happens in an independent Scotland?
No, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing at the moment is the kind of uncertainty. But at the same time, we have to realize that there's uncertainty on both sides of the debate. You know, we really don't know in 10 years down the line what's going to be happening to Scotland if we stay in the Union, in 10 years down the line what's going to be happening if we go independent. But what we do hope is that if we do go independent, that Scotland can really move forward. I would hope that in terms of kind of foreign policy, that Scotland would be accepted into the EU, that we would hopefully, you know, play a part in NATO, and that our foreign policy would kind of reflect a similar foreign policy kind of to what we follow in the United Kingdom at the moment. I think Scotland's an incredible country. I think we're a very strong country. I think we're a brilliant country, and I would hope that an independent Scotland, you know, is able to go at it, you know, a bit more on our own, but at the same time work with our neighbours, work with the rest of the UK, and just prosper going forward.
All right, let me ask you one final question, Oscar. According to the polls, it's a lot of young people in Scotland who are going to vote yes, for the same reasons that you've just talked about. But one of the things they've said is if you're a young person in Scotland and going to vote yes, bring Granny to the polls with you. Do a lot of your friends feel that they're going to get the older generation to vote with them?
I think it's very difficult. I think there are a lot of very kind of impassioned young people at the moment, and the worry is that a lot of the very older generation are scared of the change. So there is definitely a push to kind of encourage the older generation to join the younger kind of positive and progressive yes movement. I would hope that on the day that, you know, a lot of people do embrace this question and that we do get the outcome that we're looking for.
Well, we'll all stay tuned and find out. We'll watch the Scottish independence vote with great interest, not only for what happens to Scotland and Great Britain, but what it means for America. Thanks so much for joining us. Oscar Macdonald, student from St Andrews University in Eastern Scotland and himself from the northeast of Scotland. That's it for Defcon 3.